everybody, this is Plastic Commando. Today is round 8 of Axis and Allies World War I 1914, and up is Austria-Hungary. And because of the capture of Moscow last round, Austria-Hungary now has 56 IPC to spend. The additional income, as you recall, came from the treasury in Moscow. And Austria-Hungary has elected to purchase 2 tanks, 3 units of poison gas artillery, as well as 8 infantry. And there'll be two IPC left over for next round. And now we're off to the map. Okay, as far as movements, Austria-Hungary will be moving its 2 trucks 2 spaces back to Vienna. Okay, the forces, which I'll probably have to come around the table, but Austria-Hungary by themselves is going to continue they're going to attack into Tuscany and do what damage that they'll be able to do to the Italian forces, just to try to keep taking it to the enemy to prevent them from, having enough time to build up some additional reserves. And we'll see what we can get done on that round. Of course, we're facing a machine gun, but we've got the ability to continue to send more reinforcements into Italy than Italy can provide for themselves. So. But in any event, that'll be the only round of combat. The other units are going to be moved. We're going to move some out of Moscow, and I'll go ahead and make these movements off camera, and we'll be right back. Okay, Austria-Hungary has moved the bulk of their forces out of Moscow over into Belarus, with the exception of 3 infantry, which they're leaving behind in Moscow. Fighter plane that was in Moscow has went to Poland. The forces that were in Bohemia earlier are now in Munich, and the Vienna forces have went over to Tyrolia. Okay. And that'll be all of the movements that we are going to do this round for Austria-Hungary. And now we'll get to the combat. All right, we are on the battle board. And Italy's machine gun will fire first in defense. And we're looking for a 4 or less. And Italy makes a hit. Okay, that will be 2 Austria-Hungary casualties, no ambulance service, no hospital nearby, so these 2 are effectively killed in battle and will not participate in the attack. So these are removed immediately. Okay. So now that will leave 3 attacking infantry at 2 or less. Okay. All right. Got all 3 of those, looks like. Okay, and 5, 6, 7, 8 artillery at 3 or less. Okay. Okay, looks like we've got 2 there. 1 more hit. That'll do it, I believe. Yep. So looks like Austria-Hungary has a total of 6 hits, and we will go ahead and remove casualties. Okay. All right. So in return fire from Italy, we will start with a tank, which defends at a 1. Okay, tank missed. Okay, and there is no saving roll with the tank on defense, as you would have when you have a tanking attack. attacking tank. Excuse me. Okay. All right. So let's see again. Total 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 infantry at rear less. All right. Looks like Italy has got, there's 3, 4, 5 hits in return fire. Okay. And I think that is going to do it. Okay. All right. So Austria-Hungary will lose 5 casualties. And we will take 2 from the infantry, 2 additional artillery, and then we'll need to break up this chip one more. Okay. All right. So this battle will end in it'll remain contested. It'll remain in a stalemate, and we'll go ahead and return these units back to the territory of Tuscany, and that's going to do it for Austria-Hungary this round. We'll go ahead and again place the new units purchased, and there is no turn for Russia next, so we will go on straight to Germany. Be right back. Okay, round 8, Germany. Germany has 51 IPC to spend at this point. You know, both Germany and Austria-Hungary both combined are over 100 IPC, and that is that's very difficult for the Allies at this point, minus Moscow, to deal with. So it's certainly going to make a big impact moving forward, looks like, unless something changes in Western Europe quick. But in any event, Germany has purchased 1 truck, 2 tanks, 6 artillery, and 3 infantry, for a total of 49 IPC. And then Germany will have 2 left over for the next round. Okay, we'll go to the map. All right, we are at the map, and it is Germany's turn still. And Germany will be moving their machine gun unit to Poland. The 1 German unit in Belarus will move towards Livonia. All right, and the newly purchased German Navy will be moving over towards Sea Zone 10. All right, give the Allies something to think about. And then, in terms of, there'll be some additional movements, but in terms of combat, Germany will resume combat in Lorraine. They have air superiority. They have 1 unit of poison gas as well. Looking at the greater map, we have another fighter that no, actually, it cannot make it there, so we will save that one. We do have the 2 trucks in the rear, and they can pick up 1 infantry each, as well as tow 1 infantry each. And they'll go to Alsace and then into Lorraine, again transporting the 2 infantry. As well as 2 artillery to participate in the attack. And then I'll take care of this off camera. This will be a total of 5 artillery. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and take care of the 1 combat only I can tell you the remainder of these German troops that have not been moved are all heading to the Western Front. So we'll take care of that after the round of combat. And we'll go ahead and get to the battle board. And actually, before we get to the battle board, though, this unit of poison gas artillery as well will also be moving next door into Lorraine to participate into the attack. Reason being is that if France or potentially looks like it would be Britain that would launch an attack, excuse me, it would be better to go ahead and utilize the poison gas artillery on the offensive as it's meant to be, because as a defense, it cannot use poison gas, just fire as a regular artillery. So we're going to go ahead and move again next door there. And I think also, yeah, we were going to take 2 additional infantry that'll also go into Lorraine. And then my thought is the units that are in reserves, including the artillery, will be moving into Belgium anyway. So again, these additional units will participate in the combat in Lorraine. Okay, we'll get to the battle board. Okay, we've got our forces on the battle board, and again, Germany has air superiority. Because of that, artillery will be advanced to a 4 or less, including poison gas, and then the infantry with the artillery support will also be advanced, and nothing in particular about France's lines, so we will go ahead and begin our combats. And I'm going to begin with firing the 2 poison gas at 4 or less, and we'll see what, if any, impact it has upon the French. Okay, again, we're looking for a 4 or less. Okay, missed 1, and we got 1. Okay. All right, so France will choose 2 casualties. Okay, and it does not look as if they've got their ambulance in place on the map. They do not. Dang, I missed that one. Okay, well, let's go ahead and roll anyway and see if it is. That was a major oversight on my part. Okay, we're going to go ahead and try a save and roll again. 1 or 2, no effect upon the battlefield. 3 or 4 die instantly. 5 or 6, though, could potentially be saved with ability to get to an ambulance and then to a hospital. So in event, let's go ahead and make our rolls. Okay, we got a 2. Okay, so that is the lucky one. No effect per the gas. Then he will return back to the line. 3, killed instantly on the battlefield, panicked, and the gas again killed him. So there's no saving roll. Well, that was the roll. There's just no save period. So he is taken off immediately. Okay. All right. So now we will roll for the attacking fighter to strafe the enemy positions. Looking for a 2 or less. Okay, we missed. Okay, we will roll for the infantry. We have a total of 5 at 3 or less. Okay, looks like we got 3 hits there. Okay, all right, and as far as artillery, we have, let's see, 5, 7 regular artillery. Okay, and we will go ahead and make those rolls. Okay, all right, so again, looking for 4 or less. Okay, there's 2, and there's a 4, and that's going to do it. Okay, so it looks like in total, Germany got 2, 4, 6, 8 hits total. And we will go ahead and remove the French casualties. There's 4, and there's 4 additional. Okay. All right. So Lorraine will remain contested, and we will now return fire for the French. Okay, roll for the tank. 1 or less. Well, just a 1. Pardon me. Got a 3. Okay, we've got 8, 9, 10, 11 infantry at 3 or less, which we will roll for first. All right, there we go. Okay, that was a miss anyway. All right, so we've got looking for 3 or less, 2. Looks like we got 2 more here. Okay, and we got 1 there. I think that's going to do it. Okay. All right, now we roll for the artillery. 5, 3 or less. Okay, looks like there's another hit. 1 more hit, and that's it. Okay. So in defense, looks like France got a total of 7 hits, and we will go ahead and take the casualties off from Germany. We'll take these 3, 4, okay, 5, 6, 7. Okay. All right, so these are removed, and we will return these back to the map. Be back. Okay, we've returned the units from the battle board back to Lorraine. Again, still contested. And we'll make our final movements for Germany. Okay, we're going to move this stack of infantry into Belgium. Okay. Right. Along with a 3rd machine gun infantry unit that is in Belgium. Okay. Fighter plane will also go to Belgium. Okay. And I still need to do it. This is well, here we go. This is 5 artillery. So, yep, we'll just add it right to the stack. Okay. And then Germany is moving moving a stack of artillery and 2 infantry to Hanover, along with there's 1 poison gas artillery unit, another stack of artillery and infantry, 3 tanks, all from Silesia. Okay. All right, and the 1 unit in Holland will stay at this point. And I think that will be all of the moves for Germany. We will collect our income. We'll place our new units purchased in Berlin. And we will be back for France. Okay, round 8, France. France has 24 IPC to spend, and France has elected to purchase a total of 4 infantry and 2 tanks. Okay, we will head over to the map and make our movements. Okay, for starters, the 2 French battleships in Sea Zone 14 will be going to 15, and they will be positioning themselves to be repaired, although they're not going to be able to repair themselves this round because they just moved in. But they are in a position to eventually get repaired. Okay, France is not going to continue combat in Lorraine. What France is going to do, and this is going to be a mess on the map, which I'll have to deal with off camera. The French forces that are in Burgundy, minus okay, the artillery will be moving over to Picardy. And again, for purposes of this video at this moment, I'm going to put these right in Britain, which I'm going to clean this up right off camera. As well as the 2 additional infantry in Burgundy and the infantry that is in Paris will also cross over into Burgundy as well. Yep. Okay. And then finally, the Portuguese troops that are under the command of the French will be sliding over into Burgundy. Okay. As a buffer. And then the French ambulance will be moving up into Burgundy as well. Okay. And I think that is going to take care of all the movements for France. We still have the 2 French infantry units that are holding up in Cameroon. Those are going to remain since they are protecting what is now a French territory. And the 1 unit in Libya that's still contested. And I think that's going to be it for France. Again, I'm going to clean this up as best I can, because next round with Britain, there's going to be some movements as well. So, okay, I'm going to clean this up. We'll take a look at it. Be right back. Okay, round 8 for Britain. Britain has 29 IPC to spend. They will be getting 7 infantry at 28 IPC. They'll have $1 left over for the following round. Okay? All right, we will head over to the map. Okay, the Navy has analyzed the situation off the coast of Britain, and we are going to stay put with our 3 battleships. Even though the German Navy is pressing upon us, we're better in a defense role, given that the Germans would have to contend with the sea mines, and so we're not gonna make an attack on those German ships. There's no increased threat at this point in time. In fact, I think we've got the advantage anyway. So the ships will remain. The British forces in Europe. By the way, I did clean up the area where I moved the French soldiers in, so it looks a bit neater, and we can tell about how many troops we got now. I've analyzed the situation. Unfortunately, the forces in Belgium, the German forces, are just too strong for the British to make an independent attack at this point. Although they've got quite a few infantry. They have poison gas, 1 round of poison gas. Germany has air superiority. They also have 3 machine guns. And my fear is that if Britain makes the wrong calculation, their forces could be devastated in Belgium, and until the United States can get more forces in action, as well as Britain. And as you see, from the need to buy the battleships, right or wrong, which I believe was the correct decision given the German flotilla. Mainland England has nothing, so we've got to get some troops this round, which the troops we purchased will go into London. So Britain is going to stay put. They're better to prepare for a defense at this point. However, having said that, I believe the forces over in the Middle East, in Mesopotamia, will go ahead and participate in combat. So we'll be right back. Okay, we are now in Mesopotamia, where the area is contested still. Upon further review, I don't know that it is beneficial for the forces to continue an attack, given that the Ottomans have 2 machine guns and Britain only has 3 infantry remaining. They do have an advantage with the poison gas. However, potentially, highly likely, there could be 4 casualties of infantry, and we would not. I mean, we could potentially move up the machine gun unit. Wouldn't participate in combat, but we do have reserves in India that is likely going to take 2 moves to get to Mesopotamia anyway. I think the best call for action, I would welcome any comments on this maneuver, but I think the best call for action, given our forces and the arrangement of the forces right now, is Britain will pull back to Persia. They will still retain, obviously, their IPCs. It's just this will go right back to the Ottomans for the time being until we can get a more substantial force to move forward to make a better attack. So I think Britain is going to just go ahead and move its forces back. Okay. All right, and then that'll give us an opportunity to go ahead and move our forces in from India and consolidate, again, what I would consider to be a more stronger force. But again, next round we'll have to get more reinforcements in India to Persia. So doing that, unfortunately, that's going to return Mesopotamia to an uncontested state, and the Ottomans will go back up 3, and that'll put them at 28 IPC, just 1 above Britain at this point. And so unfortunately, I think that's it for the Brits. It's just hard to really get out and make an attack at this point, given some changes that have happened, differences that I had to make in strategy. And a lot of it, I tell you, was due to the fall of Moscow for for a significant amount of reasons. One, it allowed the Central Powers to get a substantial amount of income boost. And then secondly, for various reasons, I guess, the Brits have never really been able to push back on the Ottomans significantly as well. So that could be a fault on my own strategy in previous rounds, but it is what it is now. I mean, at this stage in the game. So, but I think this is likely to be the best course of action. We've got a better defense perimeter, and we'll be quicker in being able to get our reinforcements back. So, okay, I think that's going to do it for Britain in round 8. I've went ahead and placed the new purchase units over in London, and we'll go ahead and collect our 27 IPC for the round for Britain, and then we'll move on to the Ottomans. Okay, round 8, the Ottomans. The Ottomans have 26 IPC to spend this round, and they will purchase 1 transport, 4 artillery, and 1 infantry for a total of 25 IPC. Then that will give them 1 IPC left over for the next round. Okay? All right, we'll be right back. Okay, the Ottomans are going to, at this stage, reinforce Mesopotamia with 2 units of infantry that are in Sevastopol. Okay, and they will move 1 space into Mesopotamia. All right. The remaining infantry that was in Sevastopol will go to Tatarstan, and that'll give Austria-Hungary, the Ottomans, 1 additional IPC, and we'll make that change in a second. And then the battle in Libya will continue. The Ottomans are going to press against the French infantry, so we'll take care of that in a second. And then lastly, well, not lastly, in addition, the Allies, right or wrong, in particular the United States battleships that were in Sea Zone 17, moved out for fear of getting annihilated in, sequential rounds, whether it be an initial attack with the Austria-Hungarians, followed by Germany, and then likely the Ottomans with a full-strength battleship. Taking advantage of that retreat to Sea Zone 16. Of course, we've got 1 buffer British cruiser that's semi-effective, I guess, but the Ottomans are going to move their battleship into Sea Zone 17, followed by 2 Ottoman transports. And on these transports will be 2 infantry, as well as 2 artillery. Okay. And of course, we'll have to roll for sea mines. And in addition, the truck that's in Constantinople will pick up the 1 infantry, move 2 spaces to Mesopotamia. Okay, and that'll drop off 1 more infantry. And you know what? Actually, we can't do that because there's no infantry left. So we'll scratch that for now. I think what we will do, we will just move the infantry to Ankara, followed by 2 tanks. Okay, that's the better move anyway. And the truck we will leave in Constantinople. Okay, and the Ottoman troops that's in Venice, along with their Bulgarian counterparts, will also make a move over to Piedmont, and they will capture Piedmont for a total of 3 IPC. And we'll make these adjustments on the map, and then we will take care of the combat in Libya off camera, and also roll for the sea mines, and we'll be right back. Okay, we've changed the marker to Tatarstan, provided the income to the Ottomans. The attack in Libya was successful for the Ottomans. The Ottomans lost 1 infantry, taking out the French infantry, and we have moved up the Ottomans accordingly. And the Bulgarian troops and Ottoman troops combined have moved into Piedmont, and I need to put a marker there, but we've changed the IPC tracker as well. And then decided to go ahead and we'll do this on camera since we've got the transport ships. We're going to roll for sea mines, given the 3 ships, and I actually need to get 1 more die. Okay. All right. We'll go ahead and roll for the Ottoman ships. All right. We effectively escaped sea mines. Okay, perfect. And the Ottoman battleship will roll 4 or less. They missed. Return fire by the British cruiser. That's a 6 and that's a miss. We will continue. What's with all the 6s? Okay, for cruiser, return fire, 5. All right, let's try one more time. Ottoman battleship. Perfect, 2. Got a hit. Okay, now return fire for the British. They got a 5 again. Well, that British ship is worthless. All right, British ship is sunk. So the Ottomans win that battle. And then lastly, the 2 transports will land their Ottoman forces into Naples. Okay, and we'll take over Naples, which is unoccupied. Okay, and that's going to give the Ottomans 2 more IPC in total, and Italy is down significantly. Italy is down to 3 IPC. Rome is the only income generator that Italy has at this moment. Again, they just lost. They lost Libya. They've lost Naples this round. They lost Piedmont. Venice was lost last round. Tuscany is contested, so they get no income from that. Of course, they've already lost Somaliland as well previously, and yeah, it's not looking good at all for Italy. So I'm going to go ahead and make these other additional adjustments. We'll go ahead while we're on camera. We'll place the Ottoman units that were purchased, and yeah, the Ottomans big time that round. They're up to 34 IPC. So clearly, in looking at the IPC tracker, the Ottomans and the rest of the Central Powers are just in the lead with income. And that's a big factor as this game continues, as we know. So, okay, that's going to do it for the Ottomans in round 8. And now we're off to Italy. All right, we're at round 8, Italy. Italy has 10 IPC to spend this round. Of course, as you know, they lost significantly last round, and that will not be coming back. But Italy will take 3 infantry for this round, which will give them 1 IPC for the following round. And let's get to the map. Okay, no doubt about it, Italy is in a tough position. And have been, I mean, I believe for the entirety of the game. Unfortunately, Italy was not able to get out of their province at all in this game, minus the troops that started in Africa. Okay, we are going to make 1 movement of infantry to boost some of the forces we've got there in Tuscany against the Austro-Hungarians, and the 3 units of infantry we just purchased will go into Rome. Italy, unfortunately, now has a 2-sided front. Got the Ottomans to the south, the Austro-Hungarians to the north, and yeah, that's it for Italy this round. They're just hanging on by fingernails, and you know, we're going to see what the U.S. is going to be able to do coming up. Again, Italy is down to 3 IPC. The only income they're generating is directly from Rome, and that will give them a total of 4 IPC for next round. At best, an artillery unit or infantry. Okay, that's going to do it for Italy, and it's off to the United States. All right, we're at the United States and also the end of round 8. And the United States has 20 IPC to purchase units. They have elected to purchase 6 infantry, which will be 18 IPC. and then that will give them 2 for the next round. Okay, let's go to the map. Okay, the United States is aggravated with almost the lack of choices in the Med. They could have stayed, but again, it could have been more consequences with multiple rounds of attacking ships. And nevertheless, it is at this stage an impending possibility that the Central Power ships are going to move forward into the Med. There's virtually no reason for the Central Powers warships to stay in that vicinity any longer. Britain could purchase a ship and put it in Sea Zone 29 off of India, but given the activity and the impending doom that's happening in Europe, it's highly doubtful Britain will be spending any money again for ships off of India's coast. So for that reason, the 2 French ships will be repaired coming into next round, and after repair they will be able to make a return trip down to 14, and then the Allies can decide exactly what they want to do at this stage. But the United States will be returning back to 17 this round, and we will engage the Ottoman battleship. And again, Italy is still under control of Italy and Rome, and Rome only. So the United States can enter Sea Zone 17 without having to contend with any sea mines. So we're gonna take on and see if we can sink the Ottoman flotilla. And before we do that, we're gonna make our remaining moves. The United States forces that are in Bordeaux see what is transpiring in front of them with the Central Powers, and the United States will be moving all of its forces forward into Marseilles, which will consist of 2 infantry, 2 tanks. They will move their truck up, although it has no attack or defense value in the event an infantry unit does need to move 2 spaces. So that will be there in reserve. The U.S. ambulance that has been pre-positioned in Picardy will also travel through Burgundy and over to Marseille to join forces with the United States in Marseille. And then I think that's going to be it. I think the remaining United States troops are needed, badly needed in Picardy, and will remain. Okay. All right. Let's see, the transport ships that were already in Sea Zone 15 will be going back 2 spaces. Okay. All right, and then the 2 transports that was in Sea Zone 2 will move forward back to 15, and we'll be dropping off the 3 poison gas artillery units. Okay. As well as the 1 infantry. There we go. And lastly, the ships, transport ships off of Washington will load up, which will be a total of 5 units. So that'll be 2, 4. That'll require 3 transport ships, and we'll begin the transport over to Europe of these forces. Okay, and that'll leave 1 transport in reserve. All right, we'll be right back to take care of the naval battle in the Med, and we'll place new units. Okay, we're going to roll for the U.S. battleships. We're looking for 2, 4 or less. Okay, and U.S. got a 2, so that's 1 hit. And the Ottomans will return fire 4 or less. Okay, they rolled a 6, that's a miss. Okay, we will continue the attack. 2 battleships at 4 or less. Okay, 1 more hit, and that'll sink the Ottoman battleship. And return fire, they got a 3. Okay, so 1 U.S. battleship will be damaged, and I'll put a damage marker under that. The Ottoman ship is destroyed, and also the transports that the Ottomans had in Sea Zone 17 will also be destroyed. Okay, let me get a damage marker under there. We'll place new units and be right back. All right, we've got the damage marker under the U.S. battleship, and they are in full control of the Med, minus Sea Zone 19. And we've placed our new units in Washington. Okay, got 6 American infantry ready to roll. And that's going to do it for the United States this round. Been quite a few changes. As you see in Western Europe, the United States finally is on the move. We have forces in Marseille that is looks as if they could be heading directly toward Piedmont to liberate Piedmont for the Italians. We've got a significant force of U.S. poison gas. We've got U.S. forces along with a multinational force in Picardy. It's going to be interesting for the next round. I think some big changes are going to potentially occur. Germany continues to move in significant forces. Next round could be a make or break round for this entire game. The Austro-Hungarians are producing units much faster than at any point in the game. They are bringing their reserves from Moscow as well. It's not looking good at all for the Allies at this point. The forces in Africa with the Ottomans again have managed to keep the British at bay in the Middle East for the entire game. Right or wrong in my strategy, but that's how it's worked out. So this is going to bring us to an end of round 8, and looking forward to round 9. And again, I think there's going to be some major changes that's going to happen. That's going to be decisive in this game. Appreciate you guys tuning in. That's going to do it for round 8. This is Plastic Commando. Over and out.